My guest tonight is someone that I've sparred with many times on this network, including on his own show, Outspoken. So please welcome the host, Johnathan Harvey.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good
Thanks
to see
for
you
having
too.
me.
So which side am I on?
Well, you're blue today, which I appreciate.
Well, a little bit of red in there, right? I'd like to think I'm.
That's brown burgundy.
I'd like to think I'm most electoral districts right now. We're kind of a little bit of purple here and there.
Super neutral.
Yeah, so we're going to start off this segment by talking about Pierre Poilievre, the show
Yeah.
about the leaders. Obviously, I told you. You and I have probably talked about this a million times. But I want to start by being nice about this guy with you.
Let's go.
And I think it's very unfair that people call him a career politician.
I agree. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways to look at this, but there's been some great career politicians. You know, you've got Jean Chrétien, who's one of your favorites, you know. Harper was a policy guy as well. I mean, I think if you do your job well, then it doesn't matter whether or not you were in the public sector or the private sector. And obviously the guy's been there since 2004. He was elected when he was 24 years old. So he knows his way around. And obviously he's done a good enough job to get in the position he's in today. So I actually see it as a positive.
Okay. So I don't see being in there as a negative entirely. It's just right now, perhaps for this election.
Yes.
Like this has changed. This is Trump, 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 tariff, tariff, tariff. Trudeau's gone. That entire narrative's gone now. So someone with only that experience in the public sector, with no real world experience. He has no private sector experience. You and I have more private sector experience than he does, right?
Fair.
We're both business owners. But at the end of the day, for this time, is he the right person?
I still think that he is. I'll tell you why. Because they're still politicking. They're still dealing with each other at a political level. They're still dealing with things, using all the government systems that are in place to try to move the needle, whether it's this way or that way, right? And the reason I actually think he's the right person for the job is more so because of the party policy right now. I think that liberals can be the right party at times, and I think conservatives can be the right party at times. I say this all the time. I'm politically agnostic. But in today's world, I think it's very important that the conservatives win because I think Canada needs to correct course.
Okay, and that's a fair statement. That's why we have elections. You get that opportunity. I remember in 2019, everyone's like, you know, I voted for Trudeau. Now I want him out of here.
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada. Okay, great. He lasted 2 more times. I'm not going to say I had anything to do with that, but I did volunteer on those elections. So let's talk about the actions with Trump and how he would work with him, because this is going to be super important. We had the positive phone call from Mark Carney. Like, you know my opinion on the Conservative caucus.
Yes.
44 plus members. They're all in pictures with Make America Great Again hats. His campaign manager. Does this put him on the side of Trump? How is he going to defend our sovereignty in that way?
I think you can look at both leaders and ask the same question,
Okay.
right? So yes, 44 members were wearing MAGA hats. Perhaps that's fine. Not gonna argue that. So then you could say that their interests may be aligned, but you've also got Carney, who's tied in with Trump through Brookfield. That's sort of a longer story, but there is a $1 billion connection there. And there's also Brookfield has a lot of business in America. I understand it's not Carney's company. He is pretty heavily invested in it, so there's an interest there as well. So you could say that both parties have vested interests. Right, so I think that's an important thing to highlight. What really matters is no one knows what Trump wants. Does Trump want to annex Canada? Does he really want to do that? If he does, who's the better party leader? Or does Trump want a country that is going to have more robust energy resources to sell to America at a better price? Who's the better party leader for that? So I think the challenge is not really understanding what the enemy wants first. And by enemy, obviously, I'm just saying it colloquially. He's not really...
I think at this point in our country, you can say the enemy, right? I mean, but like this is really all I've seen in the first little bit of this election.
Yeah.
Slogans.
Yes.
And it's just getting so annoying. When Harper, I don't remember seeing this when Harper ran. This is a different kind of candidate here.
Yes.
And I think
it's a different era.
It is, but like he's been doing this for 2 years.
Yes.
And there's no change.
Can I tell you why?
Well, I know you're going to defend it, but like, is he going to change it? I think he needs to change it. Like he's lost a big lead. Like how does he bounce back?
He has lost a big lead. What he's doing now is he's starting to basically provide policy strategies. I don't like some of the ones he's grabbed onto. He's grabbed a couple of things that were actually NDP policies. He's talking about dental care and pharmacare. No, he is. And for me, it's I have no real problem with providing people with social programs. I don't. It's just when one party created a coalition with another, and then you're using those policies to bolster yourself when you're supposed to be on the other side, to me, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he is trying to explain policy, and they're both playing this game where here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, energy pipelines, infrastructure. They're going on about it. The challenge Poilievre has is he doesn't have an opportunity to provide long format content. He really doesn't, right? The media is sound bites, and for the most part, they're all liberal journalists that in some senses are fighting for their lives because he says he's going to cut significant funding to these programs.
I would argue that he went on a tangent for 3 months saying dental care didn't exist. Now all of a sudden he's saying he's going to protect it while cutting taxes at the same time, which scares the crap out of me because all I've been hearing about is ballooning deficits and whichever.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to switch leaders and start talking about Mark Carney, so stay with us.